Spirit Mountain Community Fund in 25 years has given back to hundreds of local nonprofits in Western Oregon, changing the lives of so many families and children in need.
The Community Fund is probably the only philanthropic organization that springs from a community of color.
One of the things from our cultural background is that we always shared. We were a sharing people.
It's a win-win always. We get to partner with these organizations, we get to engage, we get to see what they do, and at the same time they get to learn about who we are.
We call it an all-star alliance when they get involved in not only volunteer opportunities and funding wishes, but also just really hands-on practical stuff, and it is magic when it works well.
You don't just send your proposal into an anonymous email, but there's an ongoing relationship here, which is important because Native cultures are so relational.
It's more than just a check. It is truly that partnership of coming alongside of us and saying, how can we help you do this work better?
The difference is showing up every day in the lives of the people that we work with and that we touch.
Our mission is to increase the number of American Indian and Alaska Natives going into healthcare careers. Spirit Mountain Community Fund funded an anatomy course for our scholars to take to help prepare them for medical school.
Since 2002, Spirit Mountain has been supporting Volunteers of America Oregon in a number of ways. One of those is through our Housing First program for survivors of domestic and sexual violence.
Enlighten Theatrics is a professional and educational theater company here in Salem. We provide educational opportunities for students of all ages. Spirit Mountain Community Fund stepped in and helped provide scholarships for students who otherwise wouldn't have been able to participate.
This year, the Spirit Mountain Community Fund is investing in our education support program that's designed to help kids stay on track to graduate from high school on time.
The Center for Hope and Safety provides services and support to victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, human trafficking, and stalking. Spirit Mountain Community Fund has been a part of every major milestone for the Center for Hope and Safety.
So people think of Make-A-Wish as this big thing in the planet, but really it's local kids that are in small towns who have illness. So fundraising is trickier in some of these rural areas, and Grand Ronde has done a beautiful job of coalescing support around these kiddos who need a community.
We have a great mission. It's a simple mission. It's bring people together to end hunger and at root causes. Spirit Mountain was there in the beginning to say, we believe in your vision. We want to serve and make sure no one in our community is hungry.
Columbia Riverkeeper and Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde align around our deep-held belief in environmental preservation, clean water, and our climate.
Veterans Legacy is a residential program for veterans in need. Spirit Mountain funding allowed us to hire a peer mentor, which is a major connection piece of taking care of veterans.
Juliet's House is a child abuse intervention center. Through medical and forensic assessments and mental health therapy, we're able to provide real and lasting healing. And we are so grateful for the partnership that we have with the Community Fund.
The Shadow Project partners with teachers and school districts all across Northwest Oregon to help kids who have learning challenges like autism and dyslexia thrive in school. Well, Spirit Mountain was one of our first major funders who saw the same vision.
Spirit Mountain Community Fund and the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde have been an amazing partner to Native Fish Society over the years because they understand the importance of wild fish, healthy rivers, and the connection to these places that people have.
So Bridge Meadows builds affordable housing communities for older adults and families to specifically support children who've been impacted by foster care. Spirit Mountain Community Fund, they listened, they understood that it was a unique idea, and they were willing to go all in and invest in it.
Well, we want to change the end-of-life experience for our community members, not only through our general hospice care, but we also offer several programs, and one of them is music therapy, which is something that the Spirit Mountain Community Fund has helped to support.
The National Indian Child Welfare Association is dedicated to the well-being of American Indian and Alaska Native kids and families. Spirit Mountain Community Fund allows us to respond to those requests for help. When families call us, they're really struggling. They're not in a good place. They've come into contact with the child welfare system, and because of the resources of the tribe, we're able to step in and help them.
Well, these nonprofits that we're working with, they're so humble, and they wouldn't pat themselves on the back, but they're changing lives.
We have an impact that's much larger than the dollars that we're giving.
All of the organizations that have been able to expand and continue to provide the incredible benefits that they provide to the people of Oregon. That's what it really means.
Feels as if my grandmother, who was part of the restoration efforts, it feels like I'm carrying on her legacy.
Over the past 25 years, the Confederated Tribes have given over $89 million to communities, and my hope is that this will go long into the future.
For another 25, for another 50, for another 100.
It is not an exaggeration to say we could not do what we do without the Spirit Mountain Community Fund, and we are so thankful.
Spirit Mountain Community Fund support is phenomenal.
I hope that everyone at Spirit Mountain Community Fund knows they have changed lives. They have saved lives.
I think it's truly amazing that we have 25 years of giving, and I'm just so proud to be a Grand Ronde tribal member and to be able to say that my tribe is giving back to our broader community.
I would just say to the Spirit Mountain Community Fund and to the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde, thank you so much. In my Alutiiq language, we say, Khoya Nusinok.